Aloha, love family. It is me, Lisa Transcendence Brown, and it has been a gazillion years since I did a video. Seriously. Wow. Okay. I'm going to try to do this with some semblance of organization, as much as you guys know me that I do. Non-linearly, all over the place, but so much, and nothing at all, which is how this is. Okay, 2017, I started doing energy reports for the year. I have not usually done this before, so when I started to see everything, thought that, man, it is a big deal. So it was such a big deal, so much information, that I had to start putting it out in parts and pieces. And so part 1 and part 2 went out, and now part 3 is coming. This is the one that's a little bit harder for me, if you will, is because we have to be responsible in the things that we share. And although we see all things, we're not to do anything that creates panic or fear. We're to do these things from a place of love, and this is awesome. We've waited for this forever, because it is. A lot of people going through intensity with the activation of their light bodies, crystalline light bodies, and now we have plasma crystalline light bodies, which and nobody cares about who did what when, so I only do this as a reference point. We have to go through it before we understand it, and all the information to support that and what all of that is comes through as well, and that's what we share with you guys who are either going through it or will go through it. Now, when I started doing this years ago, it was, one, I had judgment about it, just because all the things that I saw and understood and was experiencing myself through physical body ascension went into the wacky, wild, and weird. Well, at the time, I had an outside higher self, a whole galactic team, and all of these things, and being prominent Syrian, which we are all things. So all the Arcturian, Lyran, Lyran, Pleiadian, Andromedan, and just all of these aspects of ourselves galactically. And then we have all of the others. We have the celestial. We have all of the Ra is a big one for me, always has been. But then when you activate God consciousness, and then you go into galactic consciousness, once you go through all of these different consciousnesses and activate them within yourself, your memories come forth, all the information of that aspect comes forth, and then it's balancing it in your world. Then it's being that in your world. Then it is all of these things, which is the entire embodiment phase, is being that aspect fully in everything that you are and do. We don't get to go back to the old ways. We don't get to play small anymore. We don't get to not be responsible for the things we transmit out. We must keep everything fully aligned. Ourself, if it gets out of alignment, yes, it's up to us to align. But the cool part of this journey is if you maintain your absolute highest frequency possible at all times, then it's very easy. It's not that hard. The most that we have to do is overcome our own humanness, transcend our own humanness, merge and resolve and dissolve all of our own humanness and all those programs that we had and all the things, the separation that got in the way. I've been observing many collectives. We observe humans to see how they work. It is quite interesting. One, they're very predictable. Living according to patterns and themes and beliefs that aren't real. And the human is lazy. The human is controlling. The human is manipulative. The human has all of these aspects. It's everything from a lack of love, a lack of respect, a lack of integrity, a lack of all of these things. And these frequencies that we have hit these last few years, many went through a intense 2016. Many had an amazing 2016. So 2017, and I don't do linear years, but I'm doing it right now for the sake of this. Years collapse into a moment, and they don't even exist anymore. For a while there, I didn't even know what year I lived in, because you transcend all limits of time. It's only once you descend as a higher self into your physical being and you merge all of these aspects that you're able to function beyond time, beyond the limits of time, beyond the limits of the limited fixed dimensions, but also be aware that time exists for linear humans, if you will, linear realities, and still flow with linearity, if you will, without being linear, which is kind of cool. Now, the hardest part is when our heart opens, when we get hit with these massive diamond light code frequencies and a lot of these other higher frequencies that activate the pineal gland and DMT and melatonin and all of these things. We couldn't care less. Linear goes. For me, with all of the logical work that I do and everybody else around the world that does this too, it can become quite a challenge. You just have to, when you're basically your operating system is taken offline for a recalibration or a massive upgrade, you can forget it. You're not going to get anything done. You can just let it go. Now, there are times we know that we can push through. And I learned through the years how to push through. I know when to pull away. Our calendars, if you will, our schedules, we space them way out. We don't put things on top of each other, because basically your universe will fill your calendar. It'll fill your week. It'll fill your month. It can be really easy if you let it be. Okay, I know I'm talking whatever. All right, so let's do this. We've moved from higher consciousness into highest consciousness just within the last few days. Well, actually the last few weeks, last few months, whatever the case may be. Very, very powerful, subtle, profound, awesome, exquisite times we're in. I'm going to talk about the physical body in a moment, just because how much of that is going on for people. The physical reality, as for also too. Each dimension has a very different experience. So it depends on which dimension you exist in fully. If you need fear to wake you up, then fear is what you require. If you need fear to get you going, if you need fear to push you, if you need certain things to occur to get you motivated, then that's what's going to occur. We start to understand that we step up. We don't need something to collapse, because it is going to collapse, but it's not a collapse. For the human, it's a collapse. When we're collapsing these timelines, and I don't mean just quantum timelines, we went super quantum. Earth went super quantum. We are all existing in super quantum on super quantum Earth. Isn't that cool? This is the year of continual convergence, were the words. Now, and then to see what that means. Constant timeline collapses, convergences, unifications, collapse, unify, collapse, unify, collapse, unify. Now, the thing about this is when a billion timelines collapse, this is when everything's in your face. This is when it starts hitting the fan. Now, unless you're on point. Unless you're in full alignment and you are, when I wake up and I always know before we're going to have a timeline collapse, and now it's really cool because now it's every couple days that we go through this, which used to be years, then it went into cycles of, every solstice and equinox, and then it moved up to like every other moon, new moon, full moon, and then those merged. We went through a merging of the sun and the moons, Earth, and all these years ago, and when these energies merge, and then all of the separation between these things collapse. Now, I've been observing the cycles, and we're on a every other day cycle right now, which is wow, powerful, awesome. There is no slack here. There isn't a lot. We basically step up, get on board. The words were get on board this ship. Light ship Earth. It has evolved to a point, get on, come on board. The words are come on board. So everybody come on board this light ship. We got this. We got like amazing things to do. It is going to be a challenge for many because there's too much human resistance. There's too much fight. There's too much stubbornness. There's too much all this stuff. There's still the belief that we have to struggle. There's still for a lot of people, there's still the survival safety mechanisms that are all triggering to come up and go. Unity. We've hit the phase where everybody's got to become the humanitarian. Everybody has to basically get up and stand in their power and come together and work together, support and share. And it's funny because you use certain things to observe where somebody's coming from. And money, let me tell you, that will tell you every time where somebody comes from. The funny part is that money is just a representation of things. It just shows us things about ourselves. It is just energy, and that's it. Money doesn't matter, but we can use it as a tool, as a resource source. It can make it easier for us to do the work we do. It can make it easier to provide for more. The last few years, my job was to provide, bringing people in, working with them, sending them on their way, teaching, providing. That was the role I was in. When you step into God consciousness, you step into the provider, the supporter role. I've been supporting people for years, and that was my job. That's what I signed up for. I had the capability to do that, so I did. Then my universe, me, said, okay, let's just stop it. There's enough of this. I'll go back into it for a little while, for like a short term. I did again recently for a week or two, and it's like, okay, nope, not going to work. But cool part is I was bringing people in to help them, get them on track, get them on path, provide what they needed. If somebody needed something, provide that for them and let them go do their thing. I moved out of that role because I don't have to keep doing that. I do it when I am drawn to and when I feel, and then this is the way we do. All right, so I want to get to a couple of the points. I want to talk about, we went into highest consciousness, not just higher, highest. We all are here to maintain our highest consciousness possible at all times. And so that's going to be number one. Everybody's got to get on board. Get on board the ship. Embrace your light. Step up. If you've been holding back, to me, holding back, that's all lack. There are certain things that we understand and everything that creates. And one thing is where you come from. If it's not pure, if you have agendas and motives and why you do things, that doesn't work here. One, is very visible, and two, your universe, you gets it. And so that's nipping in the bud. We're coming into with the 111 power. It is a portal closing. It's a lot of closing of the old doors. A lot of people that I've been talking to recently, they're noticing their old ways aren't working anymore. Float from place to place. And I'm going to say this just for a moment, only because we all had to go through this phase. It's the part of the process where you learn to love everybody and you learn that the universe is going to support you, and it's bliss and it's magical and it's awesome. But there comes a point where you don't get to float around and basically take advantage of everything and not give back. You don't get to float around and be provided for. It's time to step up. And a lot of these that have been doing this for the last many years, they are finding those doors are closing. Somebody said to me a little while ago when I was at the post office that everybody's looking for a place to live. Lots of people moving. Lots of doors closing for those who have to be pushed. And the reason I say that, as humans, we have to be pushed. So it's not that anybody's blah, blah, blah. It's that our human has to be pushed. Our human doesn't do this very well. We have to come together. We have to support each other. We have to, and I'm going to money for a moment for those who don't get it yet, because the rest of us do. Money creates opportunity. Money supports everybody. Money provides for those in service, and those in service will receive in return to what they're putting out in the world. Now, the thing about it is, if you're doing it because you want something, that's not the place where we come from. You do it. Your angelic you that does just because you're angel, that does it, That's the part of you. You do it for no reason, just because. You wake up every day, you get up and you realize you have a huge contribution and something to offer, and it doesn't matter. You start small. Now, a lot of people are going through the learning to pull away and be phase. That's a completely different phase. There are many different phases of this. You have to honor the phase and the process you're in. You'll know when you got to step up. Your world, one, you'll either feel it inside. And as humans, we don't like it because it'll push us beyond our limits. It makes us do things that we wouldn't normally do. That's kind of the point. When I was coming through mine, and I want to say this only because I saw earlier it was important to speak. One, I had to go through the complete collapse of everything in order to wake up. That was my way. That's the way that the stubborn masculine energy chooses to experience this, unless we can say, oh, I can see that my stubborn is creating all of this stuff. I'm not going to do it that way anymore. Once going through the collapse, then basically I understood that I was being provided a place to stay. And that if, one, to utilize absolutely everything, don't take advantage of anything, and start to give back. Start to become a play the contributing role. Play the supportive role. Now, I went from, in my relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, to the maid. And the reason being is my universe basically told me, we're going to provide a roof over your head. Let go of your need for safety. Let go of your need for everything. I was told, let go of my apartment. Let it go. Fulfill the rest of the lease. When it was done, give my notice, but let go. Because my lease was my security. It was my place. And it's like, you don't get security anymore. And for me at the time, it was, now you're going to have to give up needing to have the apartment in your name and trust that your whole world isn't going to collapse if you trust somebody. And so I had to go through all these trust things because I didn't have any of that. Basically, my universe was, we sent you somebody to be there for you. And it did. So it sent me a boyfriend at the time that I understood from day one, the reason for this relationship. And it was a bazillion of them. It wasn't just one. That's a human will look for one. When you can see them all, you got it made. If you're looking for one, you're missing the whole point. That's kind of how this goes. When the relationship was meant to end so that I could go on and do my thing, I still had to go through the crying and the anger and the what am I going to do and how am I going to make it, and I don't have any ways and all this kind of stuff. And basically my universe told me, go walk the way, got mosquitoes in here. Beautiful mosquitoes. Go walk the lake, get the energy out of your body, cry, kick, and scream, do whatever you got to do, but do not close your heart back down or you're going to go through it worse next time. And so I went out, I walked the lake, I cried, I let myself be a victim for a while. And after it was I don't know, it took me about an hour to walk the lake. When I about got done, all the tears had dried up. And the words were, now get back to work. You don't have time to sit in victim pity mode. Get over it. You got things to do. And so I learned to go through my things and step up and be in service at the same time too. And I also came to realize that my human was just a very small part of who I was, and that I could actually go through stuff and still be in service and help other people. I didn't have to let it rule my world. And that's a huge thing to come to understand. The reason I tell this story, which is what we do, we tell a story that makes a difference here, was my universe said, we're going to provide for you. And you get to have it easy. You get to do what you came here to do. All I wanted to do at the time, I was doing energy classes, teaching energy, doing light body energy. I was developing the crystalline light body energy. And I was just say hi. And basically the relationship was to end. And so my 3.5-year relationship was to end. And we were going to stay in the relationship as friends for the next 1.5 years, but support each other and learn to live in unity consciousness out of respect, but not the relationship as before. It was just, hey, I'm supporting you, you're supporting me. Now, at that time, and the reason I say this, because a lot of people are going to go through this, the universe provided me a place to stay. That was awesome. It was my best friend. And we had our own rooms. I got to do the work I wanted to do while he was gone and went to work. I did the things that I want to do. But the important part of this was my job was to make sure he was happy. And the reason I say this was I got up every day. I cooked, I cleaned, I did what I knew would make him happy. Because if he was happy, then he would be happy, and therefore I would be happy, and I would get to do what I wanted to do, which was my stuff. So what I did was every day it was get up and make sure he's happy. Cook his food. And I made the agreement, cook his food, do his laundry, help him with his schoolwork. He was working full time, like a ridiculous amount of hours and going to school. Help him. Make it easy on him. You don't care. Now, the thing about it is I didn't really care. I used to laugh and call myself the maid. He would get upset. Don't call yourself that. I'm like, well, that's what I am. We made an agreement. I'm very happy to cook and clean and do the laundry for a beautiful place to live, to do the work that I want to do, knowing that in the next year and a half that I was going to be leaving. He wanted to get married. I helped him with all of that. You know what? It ended up being a beautiful experience working together, supporting each other. And you know what? He was really happy, and we parted ways in the most beautiful ways. And this is how it works. Now, the thing about it was I had to get over myself. I had to get over what everybody else was thinking and saying, because let me tell you, the people around me thought I was nuts. People around me was like, how can you take that? How can you let your boyfriend go get married to somebody else? And I'm like, you know what? It served my purpose. It helped me. It was a benefit to me. And you know what? It was beautiful. Total respect. Total. Now the thing about it is when those stories, those plays, those whatever you want to call it, right before it was time to leave, I saw the whole illusion start to collapse. I watched the timelines collapse, and it's like, okay, it's time to go. I'm like, okay. That's when I bought the ticket to Kauai. I had to hit a certain frequency before I could come, because you don't come here without like mega challenges and everything in your face because of the vibration. You're gonna have to work through everything. I couldn't come here and go through that to the point where I couldn't do what I needed to do. When I came here, it was time to be in service. Walk out of the third and the fourth dimension fully into the fifth and higher, a bazillion other dimensions below wide open when you access the fifth, which is really cool. All right, I didn't start out to talk about any of this, but apparently I am. So next version came here, full-blown service. That's what I've been doing ever since I got here. I haven't stopped, did it for years before I got here. This is the way she goes. All right, now I'm going to shift for just one moment. We first went LightBody, then we went Crystalline LightBody, then we went Plasma LightBody. Plasma, let me tell you, the amount, well, first Crystalline. Okay, so LightBody itself, when your LightBody activates, you'll have electricity just jolting through your body like you've been plugged into an electrical socket. I used to call it my Energizer Bunny on crack. I could run around and do everything all day long, fully energized, didn't need sleep. It was awesome. Talk about getting in service and accomplishing and all those kind of things. Then you shift to Crystalline, or technically all of these things have always been occurring, because even when I was really human, I was going through these upgrades and I didn't understand what they were. And at the time I was so separated, I was always sick. And I don't mean always sick, I mean deathly sick. I chose everything chronic. Now, I wasn't sick. My body housed a lot of suppression. My body housed a lot of pain. My body housed everything from all of my existence in it, just like all of us do. And I had to go through a purification process, purify, cleanse, clear cellular memory, cellular imprint, cellular programming, all of these things, until I brought my body back to original template, which was a couple years ago. Profound for all of these experiences. Now, Crystalline, when the crystals in your body activate, it can get intense. That your body will break out all over, star particles will activate, you're going to go through all kind of heating up, cooling down, and the plasma, the nuclear, kind of like a nuclear reactor. You go through all of these things inside your body as an entire universe and solar system and all these things that are going on. Now, crystals, when they're forming, then you come online, you go offline, you come online, you go online, you operate, you process very easily, then you can't process anything at all. I'm just going through the different things. When gamma hits, you have one frequency that causes one thing, and then when and I listen to all these in my head. I've been doing it for years. This is what I write for people. You guys know me. Diamond, crystalline, that's not right. But anyway, diamond light codes. Yeah, no. When these activate, they're very powerful, they're very strong. They work through primarily the upper body. They start doing the heart and the brain, unification, heart and brain, heart and brain, heart and brain. Plasma gets into deep into your bones and your the teeth and the bones. Teeth and the bones are probably the most excruciating. There is no way around that. When it gets into your teeth and your bones start stretching and expanding and dropping all that density, and you're going through subatomic molecular restructuring of your bones and your deep-rooted programs in your teeth. Yes, you know what? I had people criticizing me the entire time when I said, people, this is intense. 2 years of plasma body upgrades after I went through the brain and the heart. Unification, unity consciousness, and then the plasma starts. Now, we blow up, photonic light, all these things, but the spine being the new communication center for the body, the spine emits plasma. The whole body emits plasma. And I'm not going to go through every detail. I've been writing this for years. It's all on my website. It's, you can do I didn't go into the plasma in navigating dimensions, but I went into everything else. Front to back, it's in a complete guidebook. And who knew I had to ascend before I could write a guidebook on ascension. Yeah, you know what? It's funny, isn't it? Okay. Let's see. Today in session, the words were, and I'm just going to read it because now I've gone on forever for a video that I wasn't going to talk for very long. You know me, guys. There's a gamma blast coming through that's going to rock everybody's world. And substantial. Now later the words were catastrophic. Now there's some other stuff going on too. And no, I don't know when, but we're coming up on this full moon this Thursday, Friday, and gamma always comes through huge around the full moon. We do massive timeline collapses, collapse. Physical realities collapsing, convergences. We're on, like I said, in every other day cycle. We have never hit that fast of a cycle. We go through diamond light-code frequencies and really high solar winds, and we'll go through a massive, you can't function, being taken offline, and then boom, we got gamma coming through. We've had some great doses of gamma on a regular basis lately, which is cool because those stimulate the body. They also stimulate the nervous system, nerve endings, and give us the ability for our logical brain to function better, energize our cells, our whole physical body. We do a lot of gamma when we hit full moon. Moon gamma is a powerful one. Here it happened tonight, obviously, which we're in a different time zone. It doesn't really matter about time. It's more whether you're day or night, because it's going to be dictated by your day and night. It's going to be dictated by your body systems. It's going to be dictated by your universe and where you function from and your vibration and your dimension and all these kind of things. We have gone the last few days. Last year we went super quantum. Well, now Earth has gone super quantum because we get to experience things a lot of times simultaneously with Earth. But now Earth went super quantum, which means everybody on Earth is going super quantum. So we've really sped all that up. When we went super quantum, it was like, wow, seriously, this is amazing. Funny part is there's not anything going on. It's all going on, but it's not going on. It makes things really, really easy. But you do have to stay on point, and you have to learn how to jump quantum style through reality, boom, 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 boom. You don't get to sit around and think about things. You don't get to slack off. You don't get to hang on to the old ways. You don't get to do those things anymore. That's where that's where suffering comes from. That's where, because people are hanging on to stuff. Let it go. Move on. Get through it. Do whatever you got to do. Open up to awesome in every moment. Shall we live? Awesome, universe. Bring on awesome. 24 hours a day. Clear, 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 universe. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Clear, clear, clear. Make sure you get plenty of sleep. Because if you're not getting plenty of sleep, your day waking hours are going to be rougher, more intense, because you're not allowing your body to do what it needs to do. You're not allowing for the sleep to anchor your dreams in the physical. And a lot of people going through the plasma and walking through the lucid dream, and where things don't feel very fixed. It's very cool. Bizarre, when all kind of bizarre things start to happen, you giggle. It's a lot of fun. Kind of miss those days. Every once in a while it'll still happen, but after a while you anchor down on new earth, and you're basically walking on new earth all the time, and so it's a bit of a different experience. It's very real. There's no more, your whole world is a lucid dream. Your whole existence is a lucid dream. And we're very simple and we're very easy, and we keep it that way. And if anything enters my world that isn't simple and easy, I will simplify it very quickly because we love simple, easy. And if everybody's not on board this ship, everybody's not contributing, everybody's not all in, well, we'll just take care of that because this is how it is. All right, guys. I want to read this out really quick only because I don't want to forget it. And cells of our body. Oh yeah, this is going in the third report that once I finally get it written up, hopefully really soon. The cells of our body have gone hyper, super, quantum, you name it. The words earlier were hyperphysics, is another one, but hyper excited. And then on the way home, it was hyper extended. So I got to go look at what that means. But our cells, they're hyper excited. Now, a lot of people, when we hit these ultra high, when our cells go hyper excited, that's when we start doing amazing things. That's when everything starts coming forth. But that's also when the human starts going through massive fear. So pay attention if your cells in your body start getting, no, fear is human, excited is ours. So if you're feeling fear, say, oh, my cells are really excited right now. This is an awesome thing. Remember, guys, your belief creates, your perception creates, what you're projecting creates, what you're doing creates. That transmission creates, so you want to pay attention. You can observe the fear without believing the fear. That's the important thing. It doesn't have to be something you believe. You just look at it and go, wow, there's some fear. Okay, universe, let's just clear this out of my body. Yeah, not even my reality anymore. Old cellular program. You got to honor the process. You got to honor you. Okay, so lots of people waking up really fast. Collectives, boom, boom, boom. Huge. The shock value, the needing fear to wake people up, the all of these things, this is going to be happening more and more and more and more. These are good things, guys. Okay, so I'm going to flip-flop and jump around all over again. We've gone into advanced neuron activity. And the reason I say this is our charging plasma bodies. When we went plasma a few years ago, guys, okay, so I know I'm not making any sense, but I'm just going to spit it out there. Everybody that's meant to get it will get it. You guys will know what I mean. 2017, the words were, and basically we started in December for 2017, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just using it as a reference point. The words were there was going to be mass exiting by souls leaving the body, like nothing we've seen before. And the reason being is that soul has completed their part of their journey, their process. They're done. They're awesome. They're happy. They're amazing. Time for that body. Now, the reason for this is the words were that the human body will not be able to sustain the plasma atmospheres that we have now moved into. And these are going to be quite substantial. The physical body has to evolve. And this is what everybody's going through, is the evolution into light, the evolution into a light being, the evolution of our entire existence of humanity. We're in that wake, and it's been going on forever, guys. So there's a lot going on. The plasma body, typical human body cannot sustain plasma frequencies. Atmosphere outside, lots of plasma. Inside the body, lots of plasma. It's an intense process. That doesn't have to be as intense, but it is going to be rigorous. There's a lot of things that the body has to go through in order to recalibrate, hold these light frequencies inside. There's a lot of tuning constantly. There's a lot of things that occurs. And if we are not completely on board and dedicated, and I wrote a thing the other day in activation that I'll put out about sacrificing, because we all have to be willing to sacrifice our human existence for our higher existence one. But then we don't have to sacrifice anymore. So if you're not willing to, and a lot of people now in their cave, and we were talking to somebody on Facebook yesterday, we get tired of being in the cave after a while. It's like, wow, am I really going to have to do this? Yes, I had to give up my life for 2 years. I had to basically sit and upgrade, 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 upgrade ridiculously fast, and dedicate everything I had to be in service to all of humanity and put that over my desire for my little human life. I could not have moved into the capacity that I needed to fulfill the things that I needed to do here without that dedication. And so, yes, we will sacrifice our human reality for our higher existence reality, for heaven on earth. What is sacrifice? That's, guys, get on board. I know you're going to hear me say that. It's like, get on board the ship, because that's what we're doing now. Okay. I will write about all of this because it will be easier for me to actually put it into a semblance of things that make sense. I will say that there's a huge thing about imploding, and then I wrote impending. We've got a huge implosion coming, and I see individually and a huge collective one, and then a physical world, huge implosions going on. And this is not one of my things, but it's repetitive. I keep hearing the word imploding, imploding, imploding. So we've got a huge implosion that's coming. For one, those that need to wake up really fast. For those who have been caught up in a lot of stuff. I keep seeing the imploding, exploding star. So look at the star. I will talk about some other things with the physical body later. This is a huge galactic year. And the reason I say this is, for me, I kept seeing 2017, and I don't know, because we keep hoping, but we were hoping years ago too. This is the year of the ships for me. So this is what I'm bringing on. I don't know about you guys, but I had an awesome session with a client earlier that they're getting like tons of information too. And that it's all aligning, guys. And this is the plasma energy. When you can bilocate and see yourself in other dimensions simultaneously, the ships are powered by our photonic light. So it's us, and being on a ship, and we are the power. So these bodies that we have, these have to hold photonic light. We cannot. We are in photonic frequencies. Plasma. Well, photons create plasma, so yeah, kind of true. But we are in plasma realities now, which is what we had to achieve for us to hit the galactic frequencies for ship realities to occur. So you know what? If y'all all want to join on my, get on aboard my ship, I'll get on your ship. It's ship time. 2017 for me, it's ship time, which means now the thing about it is, this is an awesome thing. So it's not a fear-based thing. So be ready. Let's all do this. Let's just bring it on. Okay. I think I said everything I had to say and said nothing at all and said a whole lot and nothing. I know there's a few things I really wanted to talk about with people, and it's basically the things that I'm observing going on for those who are not understanding how this works, how unity works, how coming together works, how sharing works, how opening up works. You do not get to hold on to things for yourself. You do not get to think about just yourself anymore. Unity consciousness means you're taking everybody and everything into consideration. And the thing about it is I've been observing, and the human doesn't understand that this isn't all about them. And that is separation. And that's the game we don't play here anymore. This isn't about us as individuals. This is about what we're here to be and do, which is so far beyond our little human. But it does mean coming together. And I've had this conversation repeatedly with clients and people recently about, for those holding on to their money, well, that's kind of how things dissolve. The reason being is we don't hold on to it. Energy's got to move. It has to be used to support. It has to be used to create. It has to be used for all of these things. And once you start getting it and understanding it and become generous, and all this is what creates gratitude, jumping in there, getting in there. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So if you're playing in the it's all about me game, if you're still in the fear place and the I'm having to look out for myself, all of that went out the window. That'll keep you all by yourself. Now, there is a part of this process where it all becomes about us, because we used to focus on everybody else, and now it's time to focus on ourselves. That's completely different. I'm not talking about that. There's a part of the process where you have to sleep a whole lot, where you have to get out in nature, where you got to focus on you, and you got to let everybody else go. Nobody else matters. Okay? So that's a completely different, everything has an opposite of a polarity here. What I'm talking about is those who cannot come together, cannot open up a chair, cannot support, cannot part with their stuff. That's separation, and that's what gets auto-corrected by our universe, and quite intensely too. So figure out how you can support. Figure out how you can be the philanthropist, can't even say it, the humanitarian. Figure out how you can make a difference. Figure it out. Because your higher self, you, will be nudging you. Your universe will be nudging you. It's up to you to listen. What was the words at the post office earlier? I can't remember. It was cool. Be in the flow and know. Continue the flowing and knowing. So, continue the flow and knowing, guys. Stay in your flow. Open up. Raise your vibration. Get on board. Lots coming. If you're focused on the old, then that's what you're recreating in your world. Refocus. Shift. Turn your body. Focus on the new. Focus. Tunnel vision, peeps. Tunnel vision. What are you creating here? What are you contributing to? What are you making happen? Now, there are times, what are you allowing? What games are you playing in? These are your realities. They're not ours. We don't live in those anymore. We left them a long time ago, and it's been nothing but completely awesome. So, higher mind, figure it out. This is where a lot of people have got to start figuring it out. A lot of people said, oh, I just want to live in my heart and float around and be happy. And we only get to do that for a while. Then you have to start figuring out how things work. And I had a lot of people along the way, oh, I don't want to hear how it works. I don't want to hear how it works. Well, you kind of got to hear how it works, because when you become the whole universe, you got to know how it works, or you're not going to know what to do. So your universe is going to show you how it works, which is what we share with you. So I love you guys. Have an amazing everything. And I hope that my rambling has helped somebody, or a billion buddies. We had an amazing year of awesomeness and are reaching millions, and millions, which is cool. From thousands. Now we're moving into all right, we got the billions going. So you know what? We're getting there. All of us coming together and all of us doing our thing. You got to show up every day. You got to show up every day. So I love you. Have an amazing everything. And I want to give a shout out to my team, because they rock. They have pulled it out. They work. And I do. Yes, we work. So you can get over that. I'm not going to work, and I'm going to float around for the rest of my life. You will. You'll work in service, but you're going to love it. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be amazing, but you're going to be dedicated too. The more dedicated everybody is, the more committed everybody is, the easier it gets. This is how we flow. But my team rocks. They pull it out. They get up every day just like I do. They put, Lee the other day was like, I've been going for 13 hours. I still got 11 to go. And we were like banging it out, slamming it out. Boom, 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 which is how we roll. Now, on the days that we can't function, it's like, just go to bed. Just go to bed. Don't even worry about it. Don't even try, because you can't. And then you wake up, timeline collapse, boom, 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 boom. So my team rocks. I love you guys. We got more team members coming on as people get over their stuff, get over themselves, start to step up and share. Then that's when we come together. Otherwise, we'll do it ourselves. We don't need that here. So it actually, this is how we flow. I love you. Have an amazing everything. And you guys join me in 2 days on the 11th with Loren Gailey on Quantum Conversations, because it's my human's birthday and I don't do birthdays. So we don't care about that. My birthday gift is to share it with everybody in awakening and ascension and cosmic this and all the awesomeness and new earth existence and how this is. That's how I spend my birthday. So if you guys want to get me a gift, you come join us on Loren Gailey live for the broadcast. We'll be doing live Q&A. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be sharing. And I work better when people ask me questions, because otherwise I just go on and on and on, as you can see. But even my on and on has a point. So come join us on Loren Gailey on Quantum Conversations. This will be my 2nd year that I got to spend my birthday doing this for you guys and everybody here. So I love you, and I'm very appreciative, and I'm excited to do this together. Mahalo.